Hi folks, I'm Professor Leanne Simons and welcome to Human Nutrition from my humble home. I wanted to take some time to go over the syllabus with you so that we could take class time to try to start to get to know each other. So without further ado, let me share my screen. I have put my course in student view, so hopefully what I see is what you folks are seeing. And this is Welcome to Human Nutrition. I have a little video that hopefully some of you have looked at, and let's look at what else is here. I'm going to look at the syllabus first, and hopefully you can take some time to review it, because one of the things I ask you to do is sign the last page or type the last page and submit it to me. It's a contract, if you will, that tells me that you read the syllabus. So this is the basic syllabus setup, the course structure. The book is optional, although I do have the readings for those of you that do buy the book. I know folks like the book. You can get it online. You can get e-chapters. You don't have to buy the whole textbook. And yes, well, of course, I think this is the most important book you'll ever own. I do understand that it's not cheap. So please feel free to not get the book, to rent the book, to just look at the e-chapters. But I do follow the book for a lot of the information we'll be covering this semester. Something that you do need to have is the access code for the Diet and Wellness Project, which we'll be going over all the different assignments as we go throughout the semester. But this is a 3-day food record that you're all going to keep. It's a food activity record, and then you use this code, this access code, to analyze your diet. Now, you can buy it for $30 or you can share it with somebody, because once it's purchased, it's good for, what does it say here? 6 months. So as long as you aren't writing down the same foods for the same days, you can share it with as many people as you want. And it's a really good tool that has lots of information in it, lots of nutrients, more than we're ever going to look at. But we'll talk more about the Diet Project later. Each one of the modules that we'll look at in a minute has a section for read, watch, listen, that if you are using the textbook, what portions of the textbook you need to look at, or articles that I'd like you to read. There are videos that I'm making for the class. I made a lot of videos at the end of last semester when we were in the acute phase of the apocalypse, but now I'm going to use some of them again, and I'm going to try to record some more videos so that we can spend more time in class more time in class talking, going over information, answering your questions, making sure that you understand the information. So we'll see how that goes. Listen, if there are podcasts that I think pertain to class, I will ask you to listen to those. And then something called cocktail chatter. This is information that I would like you to have, but is not going to be on the exam. I listened to a podcast called Slate Political Gabfest, and at the end, they always have cocktail chatter. That one important piece of information that you want to share with your friends when you're having drinks. It was pointed out to me that I must include if you're having drinks and are over 21. So rather than ask me, is this information going to be on the exam? Ask me if this information is cocktail chatter. I'll go over pet peeves with you when we meet in class. And then the next section is the deliverables. We're going to have current events, and I have a sign-up sheet. I'm going to ask you all to sign up for 3 spots. It counts towards your final exam, your final grade, but it also gives us a chance to put into practice the tools that I'm going to give you to develop your critical thinking skills. And these should be articles on nutrition, on the latest diet, the latest supplement, or if it's something that you are interested in that may not have something to do with nutrition, but has something to do with health. You don't need to write anything. You don't need to submit anything. You just need to find something and talk to us about it. And I may ask you questions like, where was the research done? Would you change your behavior based on this? And I'm not asking you to look for scientific articles, because in the real world, you're not going to be looking at scientific articles. You're going to be seeing something on your news feed that says, by taking supplement X, you will run faster, you will jump higher. And before you go out and buy that supplement, let's learn how to figure out whether it's worth your time and money. All right, so that's what current events are about. And these days, developing critical thinking skills is incredibly important. When we cover the daily recommendations, I will ask you to write down what you ate for a day and use a tool that will be on Canvas. And do you get the recommended number of servings? It's one of many tools. The Diet and Wellness Code, the project will also contain another tool. These are just to give you an idea of what's out there to help you answer the question, is my diet adequate? The food issues, or my journal, when we cover food allergies and food intolerances, I have in a Google document where you'll sign up for a particular food issue. If you have lactose intolerance, or if you have celiac disease or are allergic to peanuts, put your name in that slot. I'm not going to ask you to suffer any more than you have to, but this is a chance for those of you that don't have food issues to experience what it's like, only over a 2-day period though. And then I ask you to write it up in a journal format, and we'll talk more about that as well. The Diet and Wellness Project is a big one, and we'll talk about all of these. You do have a group presentation, and what I ask you to do is fill out a form. It's another document with 3 different topics that you're interested in and why you're interested in that. You'll sign up in groups. All the deadlines are posted. We'll go over all of them. And it's a chance for you. It's a presentation as well as a paper on a topic that you're interested that is to your good health. It can be sports nutrition, fad diets. I don't know, you guys come up with the information. It should be something that's of interest to you. And we'll move through it during the semester and talk about how I want you to do that presentation. If possible, not just a regular talking head, but something creative. And I ask you to meet with me to figure out some of those ideas. We'll have a nutrient sales pitch where in groups of 2, you will try to tell me why your nutrient is the most important and the one that I should be taking. Hint, they're all important, but you're supposed to try to tell me yours. We'll have 2 exams throughout the semester, actually one in the middle and one at the end, and we'll talk more about those. And then class engagement, participation. I'm taking all kinds of classes this summer on how to improve course engagement, class engagement. Can't do it without you. So we'll have discussion boards, flip grids, Padlets. I don't know, you can tell me what toys you're using in your classes. We'll see. We'll do poll questions that are about 2.5% of your grade. This helps me to know what's you're understanding and not understanding, or have you watched the videos that I asked you to watch. I ask you for feedback. Something that I think we're going to do, I'm going to ask you to do, or keep these weekly private journals where you tell me what worked, what didn't work, what you're having problems with, and others, always others. But something that I'm thinking about, and you can help me with, is maybe having like a weekly Ask Me Anything, a is it true, did you know kind of thing, where you can stop in and just ask me those questions that you've heard about nutrition. Of course, you can always do it during class, because those are kinds of things, if you've heard about it, everybody's heard about it. But just in an effort to, kind of figure out where your heads are at with nutrition, I'm thinking about having a drop-in weekly or bi-weekly Ask Me Anything. So these are the different topics and how your grades are being calculated. Attendance, come. We're all online. If you can't make it, you can't make it. I will try to make sure that you get the information. Try to find somebody else in the class. You'll have the class lists as your friend to help you if you miss something. And again, you can always get in touch with me. Let's see, what else do we have here? Information that's pretty standard on syllabi. And then this checklist, which I ask you to sign, to type your name on, to tell me that you read it, you understand it. With respect to exams, I do want to say if you miss an exam, we'll have an oral makeup exam. All right, we'll schedule a time and I'll talk to you and ask you in a face-to-face setting about the information that was covered. All right, so that's the syllabus. These are the different modules. Again, this is a work in progress, but for example, we'll start with nutrition basics. This is something that I'll cover some of the first day in class, unless I make a video, I'm not sure. And in each one of these topics, and these are the dates that I hope to cover these things, there'll be a read section in this case, and apparently I have some cocktail chatter for you. Let's see, something like tools to manage your diet. This is where a video I have, let's see. I have some videos for you to watch on the different tools that are used to evaluate your diet. And then after writing down what you eat for 24 hours, you'll go to this website, write down what you eat, and see how your diet compares to the guidelines. It's worth a couple percentage points, and it'll give me a chance to see how you think you're doing. And what I ask you to write down is do you think this is a good tool, not a good tool? So these are the different modules here somewhere that we'll be covering this semester. I have at the end something I call special topics. I think what I'm going to cover this semester are detox, the myth of detox, and is organic really better for you? So these are the different topics we'll be covering throughout the semester. I briefly touched on these assignments. Please sign up for current events. This is the checklist that I want you to submit. Figuring out how to do the weekly journals. I promise I'll let you know. And these are different assignments that we have throughout the semester. This is the paper presentation that I ask you to do, so there are dates. Try to keep you, and I will try to keep you in line. I don't know, it's a toy that I like, so I'll be curious what you think about it. Okay, so I think that's where we are. And I look forward to seeing you in class. All right. I think that's it. Bye now.